Today, we're diving into a hobby that's never been hotter or more competitive: sports card collecting. Whether you're a lifelong collector, a weekend card show regular, or just someone who remembers that first pack of tops from your childhood, you know the thrill of the hobby. And in 2025, that thrill is very much alive. We'll talk about the state of the industry, what's hot in the market currently with card collecting, and new product lines that are reshaping the game in a hobby that still brings many generations together. Joining me today is Lou Arrico, the owner, one of the owners of Sports Cards, etc., a staple in Robinson Township and one of the go-to spots for cards, memorabilia, and everything in between in Western Pennsylvania. He's joining us here on the TroupCast, powered by oneBURGH, on our Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify channels. Lou, welcome into the podcast. It's awesome to have you here.
Hey, Ed, thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Lou, let's start with this. Sports Card, etc., located in Robinson Township. How did it started, and how did you get involved in the business?
Yeah, so the business actually is probably one of the longest running sports card stores in the area. It's been around for 34 years. I was a longtime customer for probably at least 10 or 15 years, and the opportunity came to become one of the owners and jumped on that opportunity in March of 2019. And here we are in 2025.
COVID struck in 2020. Did you see an uprise in card collecting after that at your business, or was it starting to get hot prior to that?
I would say a little bit prior to. You had that 2019 class of basketball with Zion and Jaw, so you started to see it ticking up. But then when COVID did actually hit, it went absolutely wild. I think a lot of people were at home and going through their old card collections and catching a lot of different stuff, and just kind of got that fever again.
Lou, when you go on YouTube or any type of social media and just type in car collecting, you're going to get thousands, if not almost a million, different anywhere walks of life, from a young kid opening up packs all the way up through somebody in their 60s. And I know when I've been in your shop, you see the same crowd. You see younger generations, older cards, newer cards. I'd have to think that's what's fueling the industry right now. You have such a wide range of folks that are into car collecting.
Yeah, and it's just not sports, right? It's Pokemon, it's Magic the Gathering, and it's just not the new stuff. We've actually probably seen an uptick in younger people wanting vintage cards, 50s, 60s, 70s. So it's just not the brand new stuff. It's a little bit of everything that people are really getting excited about. So it's good to see everybody kind of finding their niche and finding something unique to collect.
How much have you seen this industry evolve since you first opened up your doors?
Um, I think it's definitely gone more mainstream, right? Before it was just kind of maybe like your diehard sports collectors and that kind of stuff. Where thinking back to last year with the Paul Skeens chase for the debut patch, we had little old ladies coming into the store buying packs of cards, saying, "Well, instead of buying my lottery ticket this week, I'm buying packs of cards." So that's how mainstream it's gotten now, that you had everybody chasing, different things like that, who are not your target customers, your normal customers.
That's incredible. Giving up
Yeah.
lottery tickets for a retiree to buy a pack of cards and potentially get a Skeens card. That's
Yep.
wild.
Yeah, it was pretty great. It was wild times, and just, I mean, people would come in 3, 4 times a week, and that was like their analogy. It was like, well, I'm not going to do my lottery, or not going to do my casino trip this week. I'm going to grab some packs of Topps Chrome to see if I get that Skeens card.
I was not a believer. I collected cards as a kid, just like any other kid growing up. I grew up in the 80s and early 90s. So, card collecting was part of that. Baseball, mostly football, a little bit, but it was mostly baseball back then. And then, as you know, I have two young sons that have come into your shop many times. That's how we connected.
Yep.
And many times, I'll stress that word, many times. And my youngest son, who's 11, really has taken off with this in the last 6 months. And I wasn't a believer at first. I thought it was a hobby. And then he pulled a card, a Brock Bowers downtown card. It
Mhm.
actually was out of pack out of your shop. And I said, "Hey, buddy, great pull." The next thing you know, he shows me that if we get it PSA rated, and I want to talk to you about that system as well here in just a while. But he's like, if we get that rated towards a 10, it can go from being worth $500 to 1,200. And he showed me the facts. It was right there,
Yep.
black and white, and that made me a believer. And then the cards just start popping up left and right, and they're worth anywhere from $5 to up to $30 or $40, and could continue to increase as you go. It's such a popular thing right now, and it's making people a lot of money out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Um, there's some good and bad with that. It's like you do see the kids watching this stuff on YouTube and they don't realize how much these people are opening, right? It's just not they're opening a couple packs, they're opening a lot, a lot. So sometimes I think some kids get a little delusions of grandeur, but like hearing like
Right.
that kind of stuff, it's awesome to hear get somebody that is a collector get such a big card like that and the excitement around it.
And it's one of those things that's a teaching moment too as a parent, because I know with my son early on in this process, the expectations were exactly what you described on you pull a card, you think it's worth a certain amount of money, you try to sell it or trade it, and you don't get that value back. It's a good life lesson at an early age that's kind of how life works, just outside of
Yeah.
card collecting.
Yep.
Unfortunately, you're going to be disappointed more in life than you will be the other way. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you learn early, but I also, and I know for his case, he has a lot of fun with it too. With his friends as well, with the collecting standpoint. I talked about PSA and rating cards for
Mhm.
those folks that out there that aren't aware of that. Well, why don't you explain that process a little bit, and how it could take a card from being worth maybe a couple $100s to a couple thousands of dollars?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different grading companies, and what these companies do is you mail your card into them. They then examine your card and they look at a couple different attributes. Are there any surface imperfections? Is the card centered? So was it cut evenly by the machine going through the factory? Are the corners good? Are the edges okay, or is there a rough edge which would detract from the value? So PSA is kind of the creme de la creme. They're the company everybody wants to use to get their cards graded because it seems that they retain the best value. So what they do is they look at that card and then they assign it a value from authentic, meaning that it's a real card, all the way up to a 10. So the lowest you can get is a 1. Some would argue that like an authentic's even lower. It's just saying the card's real, but all the way up to a 10. So and then they encase it in plastic. They put a label on it. It's serial code. It's has a serial number to it, and then it's permanently archived in their registry, so that if you're buying a card, you can go and verify that it's real and whatnot. So they're kind of the creme de la creme. There's other ones, SGC, which is a great company. Beckett, who makes the Price Guide magazines, they also do grading. And then a company by the name of CGC has recently stepped into that market. They actually were known for doing comic books. They were like the PSA of comic books. Like, so if you had comic books and wanted to get them graded, you would send them to CGC. But they've now stepped into the card market as well too.
We're talking with Lou Arrico, the owner, one of the owners. You have several owners there with you, don't you, Lou?
Yeah, I have one other. His name is Chris Hoffield, and he's worked at Sports Cards, etc. For over 30 years now. So, yep.
Yeah, you and Chris, the two joint owners of Sports Cards, etc., located in Robinson Township, right off of Steubenville Pike. If you're familiar with that area, right off of 79, great spot as you head into the Robinson Township shopping area. Lou, talk about the hobby here in 2025. Are we still in a boom? Is it a correction period or a steady climb? I don't think it's going the other direction from what I've seen.
Yeah, I would say maybe a slight correction. I think 23, maybe you saw a little bit of a correction, where it kind of leveled out. It was doing this. I mean, it was like at a 90 degree, and then it's kind of come back down a little bit. Um, but I would say with really rookies dictate everything. So if you get a hot rookie class in football, especially with the quarterbacks, or if Cooper Flag comes out of the gate here in the NBA and just is tearing it up, you're going to start to see that spike. But it's definitely not what it was pre 2019. It's still very, 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 very much a boom industry right now, I would say.
Back in the day, it was, as I said, mostly all baseball cards was the
Hmm.
most popular trading card out there. They had other cards for other things. Nowadays, they have cards for everything.
Yep.
They have anywhere from WWE to NASCAR racing to whatever you name it. Even characters on TV shows. Football is now at the top of the class, right?
I would say so. I would say football is probably clearly number one. Basketball and baseball, I would say, could be a 2A, 2B, depending on, who's hot, who's not.
Are you
And then I
seeing
would say,
more? Go ahead.
no, 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 no. Then I would say, hockey probably falls third. Soccer would be in there probably fourth, I would say.
Soccer making it into your top four. Are you seeing more online sales than in store? Because just go to the local Robinson Mall, go to any local mall. Online retail shopping over the years, specifically on apps and everything else, has really stopped foot traffic in a lot of retail stores. On the card side, sometimes I walk in your shop, there's a couple people there. Other times it's packed, and that can be any
Yep.
day of the week. What is more a strength that you're seeing, online or still foot traffic, or a combination of both?
I would say our strongest is the foot traffic through the store. I mean, we do online. It's mostly singles, but I think with our industry and what we do, people want it. It's that supply and demand, right? You want it in your hand that day. You want to be able to open it. You don't want to have to order it and wait for it to come in the mail. I think there's something to opening packs in the store and that community of people gathering around and watching somebody open something. So I think with at least us, we definitely see the in person in store is way, 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 way more popular than online for us at least.
Sports Card, etc., located in Robinson Township, right off of Steubenville Pike. We're talking with Lou Arrico, who's one of the owners of the shop. And Lou, we have about 10 minutes left with you. Let's talk about rookies and prospect cards. What are you seeing? Again, I know you mentioned rookies kind of leading the way, and if those rookie classes are very successful, but there's still some vintage and Hall of Fame type cards that are being produced out there, that get folks excited and then are worth also some money, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the new when you're coming in and looking at new products, whether it's the newest football or baseball, a lot of times there are veterans in there as well too. So it's just not the rookies. So you can get people like Ken Griffey still in a pack, or Ichiro, different Derek Jeter. So those are definitely older players as well with the new players. So it's a gamut of things. We still probably get 5 phone calls a week asking if we have any Griffey rookie 89 upper deck Griffey rookies in the shop. So people coming in looking for old Jordans all the time as well too. So while the new items are the sexy items, because of the autographs and the pieces of jerseys and what some of those items can command on the secondary market, people still really like the old stuff too. So it's a little bit of everything.
Lou, I know we were talking, I think it was a month or two ago, that within the industry, you have Tops, Fanatics, Panini. You have a lot of different folks involved in this, but there was some recent turnover or lawsuits happening with football cards, right? With a couple different companies. Tops wants to jump in to be one of the exclusive, if not the exclusive, football card collecting company, right?
Correct. Yeah. So Topps was acquired, I think, 2 or 3 years ago by Fanatics, who kind of has their fingers into everything right now. And through that process, they have been trying to sign exclusivity agreements with the different players associations and the different professional organizations. So they recently secured an exclusivity deal with the MLBPA and MLB, which they already kind of had that already in place, but kind of just re-solidified it. And their current goal is to acquire the license to the NBA and NBAPA and the NFLPA and NFL, so that they can start producing licensed uh, football and basketball cards. Right now, they do make those products, but they're not allowed to display the logos. So if you get a Troy Polamalu card, it'll just say Pittsburgh on it. It won't say Pittsburgh Steelers. They'll blur out the helmet logo and any type of identifying marks. Right now, Panini has that license. I believe the NBA is through the end of this year, I believe, for Panini, and then I think football is next year as well too. So it's actually in court. There's an antitrust lawsuit that's been filed by Panini. I'm not sure where it stands exactly, but it's going to be interesting to see how all that shakes out, because it could potentially all land under one roof, and I'm not sure if that would be good for the industry or not.
I was ready to say right now, if you draw one of those tops cards and they don't have the Steeler name on there or the Ravens name on there or even the logo, but eventually one day they will, I would almost think if you look back at that, that card could be kind of cool that you're looking back on something. Or maybe it's the other way. Maybe it's like, man, this card's garbage. It doesn't have anything on it.
It goes both ways. There's some people. So Panini still makes baseball. Again, same thing. They're not allowed to use the logos, and some people really love that unlicensed product. Generally, from a secondary market perspective, they don't hold the same value though. So, could it down the road, being like, oh, these were technically the first original Tops products? Possibly. You just never know. Just it's going to depend where that market and that desire and drive is from collectors.
Lou, besides going into your card shop that we do few days a week or at least weekly, in my household, we've recently gotten into these breaks where you can
Yep.
sign into breaks online. You can pay a couple bucks, pick a team, and then they break several packs. And if one of those teams pop up, they mail it to you, and you could possibly get it. It seems like that's a popular thing that continues to grow. Investing in these breaks, is that true?
Yeah, and it's a way, the everything's gotten so expensive. We try to do our best to bring in, items that are cost effective, especially for kids like your sons who, probably do chores and everything else to earn a couple bucks to go buy some packs. But, some of these boxes are $5,000 now. So for the opportunity to say buy an entry, buy the Steelers entry for $50 and you got a shot at whatever comes out of the box for the Steelers, it's way better than buying that 3,000 or $5,000 box or $500 box even, and then not getting anything that you want. So yeah, it's become a nice alternative for people who still want to collect, but maybe on a more limited income. And it's the chase, right? The chase and the thrill of it too.
If someone walks into your shop, $100 and they want to start a collection, what would you tell them to buy first? Where would you tell them to start?
Well, I always, especially like the younger kids, I always suggest like, who's your favorite player, who's your favorite team, and I really try to point them in the direction of buying singles of the guys that they like, because you get a little more bang for your buck from that perspective, and you have something that you're really going to go home and be happy about. And then I say, if you have something left over after that, buy a couple packs, and see what you get from there. But I always kind of the younger collectors, especially, I urge them towards buying the cards of players that they like or teams that they like.
Lou, your own personal collection. What are some of the top cards that you're in possession of that you'll never give away?
Well, I got some nice ones. I have, I think it's a PSA 9 Mario Lemieux OPG rookie.
Now that's
I
a
have,
personal favorite because you're a hockey guy.
I am a hockey guy, so yeah, I am lucky enough. I pulled a Sidney Crosby Young Gun card. I have that in a PSA 10. I got an Ovechkin Young Gun card. I have that. I think it's a PSA 9. So yeah, I got some nice hockey stuff. I've dabbled in wrestling over the years too, just because it's kind of fun. But yeah, it's some nice hockey cards there. So the rookies especially kind of what I've been going after the last few years.
So those hockey cards, especially Lemieux, my goodness, that's not going
Yeah.
anywhere, right? That's staying in
No,
the Lou household forever.
probably need to get in a safety deposit box at some point. So yeah.
My goodness, and that's not just a Yinzer thing here in Pittsburgh. That's an overall hockey fan big get. All three of those guys. My goodness,
Yep.
probably arguably next to Gretzky. Maybe throw Gretzky, and we could probably if you have 20 more minutes, we can talk about hockey greats. But my goodness, they're in the top five conversation of the three
Oh
of
yeah.
them.
Yep.
Uh,
100%.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Right now, what's coming out 2025? We're about halfway through. I would think the football generation of the 2025 season, those cards have started to drop and will continue to drop as we get into the fall, correct?
Yeah, over the last month, three different 2025 products have come out for this football season. Score Football, which is always a really nice one because you get 4 autographs in a box. So there's 10 packs, I believe, in a box. So you get a good shot at getting an autograph. Has all the new rookies, has Shador, actually has an NIL, Arch Manning in it. Will Howard is in that one. I believe Cam Ward is also in there. So yeah, the products are starting to come out. The big one for football, the big two for football is there is always Panini Prism and Panini Optic and Don Russ. So those are the big ones everybody will be looking forward to here. Hopefully out within the next 3-4 months.
Lou, we have a special guest with us. Brendan, my 11-year-old, is here. I'm going to let him ask you a question here to finish up. But what question do you have for Mr. Lou here from Sports Card, et cetera, in Robinson Township? You're a big collector, Brendan. Any type of question? Well, why don't you tell him your best card that you have? The number one card you have in your possession is. Go ahead, tell him.
A Brock Bowers downtown PSA 9. It's worth around like $500. I pulled it from your card shop actually, so go shop there at Sports Card etc. because they have the best luck on cards. I also pulled a lot of other good cards. I got a case hit from there, a Bonix that I sold for $55, so I got a lot of cards.
Thanks, Brandon.
There you go, Lou. You got your own personal commercial now.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to get him on the sponsorship payroll.
He just wants a free pack when he goes in next time. I think you can buy him with that.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, that's that Brock Bowers card that made me a believer. That's for sure. Hey Lou, thanks so much for coming on. Let's do it again. You last year you guys did the pool card event, which
Yep.
was a very popular event. Are you guys going to be doing that again this fall?
Yeah, so we're waiting on directive from Tops if they're going to be having one. But we are discussing actually kind of just doing our own event, Sans Tops, maybe early fall, maybe end of August or early September. Kind of let kids get into school, get settled, and then do something on a weekend here coming up soon.
We'll get that out to everybody. We'll put your website
Yeah.
and your Facebook following here on oneBURGH for folks to check out. We have the address right there on the screen below Lou's name, 5629 Steubenville Pike, Robinson Township. Like we said, it's right off the 79 exit if you're heading towards the Robinson Township shopping area. Lou Riecko, thank you so much for coming on. The one of the owners, along with your buddy Chris there at Sports Cards, etc. We will talk to you soon.
All right, Ed, yeah, looking forward to doing it again. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Lou. That's going to do it for the TroupCast for this week, powered by oneBURGH on our Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify channels. We'll see you here later in the week with more updates from Steelers training camp as the Pittsburgh Steelers get ready to travel to the Jacksonville Jaguars this upcoming Saturday night for preseason game number 1. We will have information on that game and also recaps throughout the weekend afterwards. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you soon right here on oneBURGH.